Hi, welcome to the next class. Let's talk about spiritual education because this course is about forgiveness as a spiritual and emotional healing tool. So it's important I don't take it for granted that all of you know exactly what spirituality means for the purpose of our studies because I'm aware of the fact that spirituality can be defined differently. So I want to make sure that the definition that's been used in this course is the one that you follow so that you get the best out of the course materials. When we talk about spirituality, and by the way, from time to time, I do have a laptop here, I will turn around to check my prompter to make sure that I've covered all the materials that I intend to share with you in this video. So when we talk about spirituality, we're talking about the transformation of a person's life to be in line with natural law of nature, the laws that nature governs our universe by. So in effect, we are talking about an alignment in how we perceive our world with the natural laws of nature itself. So I'm going to kind of distill that in small bite size so that we are all on page. We as humans, and that includes me as well because I was in a dark space before I made all this discovery myself, we don't know who we are most of the times. We perceive ourselves as individuals with this flesh, this protein flesh body. We think that's all we are. We think that all other people that we look at, that's all they are. So very often, we only see the physical body of individuals. And when we see them as distinct entity or beings that are independent of us. We are independent of them. They don't belong to us. We don't belong to them. And of course, that's not true because nature is not built that way. Yet that's how we see our world. We see very often all the worst in other people, but we don't even understand why is it that we are so negative. And very often we think the other people are negative, we are not. And that includes me as well. That's because we have a mind as well. So we don't see the mind, but the mind is at work and we experience the workings of the mind, but yet we don't know that it's the mind that is leading us to act and think the way we do. And of course, we have feelings as well. We don't understand how the thoughts that we have in the mind and come to believe to be true affect our feelings as well. And so there is all these different layers of us, but yet we only see the physical body. And that's what we're always talking about. So in this course, you're going to go deep and begin to see the various layers of bodies that you have and how they actually operating. Because until you do so, you wouldn't understand you, nor would you understand others, nor would you even understand the materials, because we are not just our body. We are more than the physical body that we see with our five senses. This is how we are created by default to see others purely as physical beings. But nature has a plan that is bigger than our physical experience. And you will find out that plan when we look at nature and how nature is structured and where we fit in it. Many years back, I remembered asking this question: why are there so many problems in relationships? And the answer I was given was simple. You and many other people out there do not understand who you are, who others are, what the laws that governs your environments are, how you expected to operate within the environment that you operate you do business, you do work, you have family in. People don't understand that. Very few, if maybe 1% of the population do. Majority of people don't. And the answer I got was this: until you and others understand these things, you will have problems in relationships. Because relationships are there for you to learn something. And if you don't understand what you're supposed to learn through your relationships, you will end up in many conflicts, many disappointment. And finally, I was told everyone is doing their best to be perfect. No one is perfect. Never mind what you've been told. No one is perfect. But everyone is doing their best to be perfect. That means you need to go back to basic. You need to recognize that no matter what you may think about others, everyone are just small people who are all expecting others to be perfect. Because if you look at how we behave, we want people to behave in this perfect way, but yet we ourselves do not do that. And the only way out of our high expectations of others that very often causes trauma and resentment and hurt that we hold on to is to forgive and to learn the daily practice of forgiveness. It is to shift the paradigm and recognize that which you see out in others, that which you want others to change, is the very thing that you have to change in you. In other words, it is because you do not understand that is what you need to change in you that's causing the problems in your life. Until you do, you will learn to live with others in peace. That was an insight that I was given, and I share that insight with you today. So with this said, your exercise is this: what is the purpose of your life? This is what I want you to do now. Why are you living? What do you think is the purpose of your life? I said to you, you're not just your body. Who do you think is pumping your heart? Who is responsible for governing the universe, the planet Earth that you live in? Why do you think others should be perfect? Are you perfect? Do you do everything right all the time? What stand in the way between you and others? Do you know what that is? Take some time and reflect on these questions. Forget about the events that you really want to let go of. Try and understand who you are and why you're here on this earth. Try and think about, what are these people that I'm looking at? Who are they? What are they supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with them? Ask yourself a soul-searching question and see what comes up. Because you might just find that your perspective of life shifts. So that's your next exercise. I want you to spend that time and just begin to discover something about you. Because there can be no happiness for you and I, no harmony, no peace, no joy if we don't understand who we are. I remember I was told this: every day you must learn to forgive if you want to be happy, because your happiness depends on it. Your perspective of life must change. Holding on forgiveness and trying to get others to be perfect when you are not perfect will never work. And that's what you see is you. So I want to leave that with you, and I want you to take this time to answer those questions and see what you come up with before we meet again.